Good morning everyone, welcome to a new market update, and today we're going to discuss Chainlink, as Chainlink is close to being bottomed out and could it run towards $100? Seems likely, as in this market is currently extremely crazy, so we're going to do an analysis on Chainlink today. But before that, do not forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel, which you can do beneath here, and also do not forget to like this video or comment what type of content you'd prefer to see. Then Chainlink is currently looking the identical view or comparable to what we've seen in 2020, in which we also had a very nice compressive period. We also had a sideways accumulation range, which is quite comparable to what we currently are seeing in the chart in itself. We do see that the trend is downward since it bottomed out in December 2020. It has seen a nice run towards the critical resistance zone at 77,000. However, you preferably want to see this break above the accumulation range. So what are we currently expecting to see? We can see that we're currently having a bottoming construction, or at least getting close to one, in which a breakout is inevitable. And therefore, we have to zoom in a little bit to make such a prediction or to see what's currently going to happen. And therefore, we're going to make this zoomed in picture, and then we can start seeing what the price is currently doing. What do we see? Rejection at the critical resistance zone of this accumulation period here. Another lower high, lower lows, lower high, lower low, right? So in the recent movements, we do see that we have got another lower high, but we are actually consolidating at support here. And still we might drop down below support and get towards this next area of support at 40k. But right now we're just making this construction, in which you generally want to see something like this, as you know. But if the price of Chainlink is going to break above this breaker of 52k, I think we are bottomed out. So that's the critical level that we have to watch for Chainlink in itself, to avoid making it further downwards movements. On the downside, we've got this 47 and 40k sets, this entire region. That is serious business and serious support levels. So as long as that sustains and we start to make higher lows at some point, or at least we are making around the bottom right now, it seems very likely that we're going to have a new expansion towards the previous regions that we have been acting in. Therefore, it has to crack 52k, and if that happens, I think 77k is on the boards for Chainlink. And then you can also see that since its recent all-time high, Chainlink is down 72% in its Bitcoin value. And I know there's many questions regarding the Bitcoin and USDT value of the charts. I'm going to make some more content on that, but you can also see it on my YouTube channel, in which you should be aware of those differences between the two pairs. Excuse me. But on the other hand, we can say the upwards potential is 250% to even get back towards the previous all-time high, and that's inevitable if we are going to have a new impulse wave. But then we're going to watch the Bitcoin or the USDT chart, which is quite different than what we see on the Bitcoin chart. And I'll just pop up the regular one, as this is more wiki. Which means that if we have that 252% move on Bitcoin, on the Bitcoin value, we can start showing massive gains for Chainlink. And yes, this is a very bullish outlook, but if we get 250%, it is going towards $100. Some things that I would like to say regarding this price prediction on Chainlink in itself. You should be aware that if something starts to run heavily, like this move, that could look like a bubble picture in itself, as in it seems very inevitable that we're going to have some downwards momentum after such a big move. However, Ethereum looked the same in 2016 and never got back after it made a very big move first, and then it started to consolidate. So those very vertical moves often come back to downwards levels for tests, definitely, but once it goes away or it gets out of that accumulation, the chances of it hitting back towards the previous levels are slim. So what do we see in this entire construction here of Chainlink? We can make the chart in itself. We know that we've got to use the previous highs as support levels. So anything, I think it's actually this entire block here. Anything between $19 to $20.75 is a support zone in general. Therefore, if we get into anything of this region, we have been there once already. It seems a great opportunity to get into Chainlink. Critical breaker on the upside, there's a few. We've got this critical break that we do need to break at 29.59. If that breaks, I'm assuming we're going to have a massive expansion. If we break above 34, I think the next real move is in. So right now we are just into a sideways accumulation period for Chainlink, in which we are not really seeing any big moves, but we do not see it on any major at this stage, as it's just consolidating. And as you know, that's very healthy, and I'm assuming that that's just organic and in need for the next big move to occur. So if we generate ourselves as this entire impulse wave is one big wave, recent low, recent high, going to assume the next target zone based on Fibonacci extension tools, the next waves are most likely towards 55 or 84 bucks. However, that move you have to watch through the Bitcoin pair, right? If you watch it through the Bitcoin pair, you know what to do, as the Bitcoin pair is going to show a strength, and that was also the strength that we saw in this recent move in 2020. So very likely we're going to see a similar big wave occurring, but if we're going to have some more consolidation, that is not unlikely to happen. So what are the critical levels to watch for Chainlink? It is this zone around 24 bucks. It is also this breaker around 30. And if we break above 34, I'm assuming that we're going to see a run towards 55 and maybe even 100 bucks. Then finally, I've got to share some stuff regarding ETH, as ETH is just finally bottomed out, it seems like. We were trying to lose this entire support region that we knew, and we just got wicked south and immediately flipped back. I've discussed this chart yesterday, in which I said it has to break some lower time frame levels to have momentum as well. Well, if we watch the lower time frame levels, and I'll just use a clean chart, we can see what's happening here. So the support area got lost, right? So we lost the support area at 0305, wicked down, but it immediately bounced back up and made a new higher low afterwards. So this construction loses support, it tries to break south, doesn't do that, breaks up again and flips this previous OB for support. What do I want to see right now? Well, basically we are trying to flip a very important level for support, granting further continuation. So in this case we saw 03 becoming support. In this case you want to see this entire region holding on to support for Ethereum. If that grants support, I'm assuming we're going to break out of this accumulation range, and I'm assuming we're going to see a run to at least one of the next levels, which is 034. 034 is about 10% from here, so this run is about 10%, and then we get towards Ether USDT. And if we take and just say transparent, Bitcoin USDT is going to remain stable, we get back towards the all-time high region. So I've been discussing this chart previously, in which we said we have to flip a very important level for support, right? So we flipped 1650, and now we ran towards the next area around 18.5 to 1900, next critical area. This region around 1720, I'd prefer to see sustained support. If that holds on to support, I'm going to assume that we see Ethereum attacking 2K once again. But my eyes are definitely on Chainlink at this stage, as in the next run, I think Chainlink could run towards 100 bucks. And if Chainlink runs, all those other oracles will definitely follow through. That's my video for today. Thank you for watching. I'll see you again tomorrow, or maybe tonight if something crazy happens. Do not forget to subscribe and like this video.